Hey there, welcome to the Leadership Snapshot Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah Andreas. Each episode, we interview leaders who share their biggest leadership challenge or the best advice that they have for growing as a leader. So stick around, we have plenty of people to talk to. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am talking to Dr. Lisa Howard, and I am so excited to introduce her like that because she began her leadership and PhD journey the same day that I did. And it is so awesome to finally be on the other end instead of at the very beginning where we were marking on the calendar every time we finished up a course. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Sarah. It is a joy. It is such a joy to get to walk this journey with you, and it has certainly been a journey.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about your history and what inspired you to do this leadership PhD program, and then what are you doing in general?
Okay. I have been in educational and youth ministry for about 35 years. Both as an educator in elementary and middle school, and now working as a full-time youth pastor for grades 6 through 12. I've run the gamut of working with volunteers, working with staff, working with young people. It is quite an adventure to work with young people. I absolutely love it. What got me to take the PhD in leadership is just, I'm always into furthering your education, if at all possible, in one way or another, whether that's taking more courses, whether that's working as an apprentice with someone. Further, never quit learning. No matter what you do in life, never quit learning something. But I just felt a burning desire that I needed to continue and take the next level. I had my bachelor's, I had my master's, I needed the next level. I did a lot of research on whether it be an EDD or whether a PhD and all that kind of stuff. And what's good for one person isn't necessarily the best program for another. And I searched and searched until I found the program that we went through at Johnson. And to me, it was an answer to prayer. It was what God was leading me to, knowing that it will open doors to be able to speak to more people. It will open opportunities to be able to help and speak into the lives of more individuals. And that is what I'm all about, is helping people.
Yeah, I know. I see every once in a while, I'll see one of your posts online, and it looks like you really do have a heart for young people.
Yes, I do. I've had a heart for young people since before mine were even born, and now they're having their babies. And it's if there's anything that I could try to convince people to do, is to be significant in the life of a young person.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Just find one kid somewhere, obviously your own, but I'm talking about some kid who doesn't have someone, or just a kid in your neighborhood, or a person at your church, or a person at your community, whatever you're doing, and just be significant. Just be there for their journey. Now, in my life, in my husband's life, we actually adopted a 15-year-old and walked that journey with him. You don't have to take it to that extreme, but I'm telling you, there's a kid next door who needs an adult in their life. There is. Just be a safe place for a young person.
That's awesome. So, Lisa, we've been studying leadership for a long time now. What has been your biggest leadership lesson that you had to learn?
I think my biggest leadership lesson, the lesson that I had to learn, was I'm okay for being me. I quit trying to be that other leader or that person over there or this person who significantly impacted your life even. The Heavenly Father has made us who we are for a reason. Now, that doesn't mean you stop improving, for crying out loud. I got my PhD. Don't stop improving. But you are placed where you are placed for a reason. And you have a job to do where you are. Quit trying to be who you're not. And when you are comfortable being you, then you can impact so much more.
So how
Confidence
did
comes, you're there. Your confidence is there. Your abilities are there when you know that you are you and you are who God has made you to be.
How did you learn that lesson?
Oh, it was a journey. I started out in life very, very insecure. I had a very real fear of people, a very real fear of failure, of never being good enough. And I had to become secure in my faith first. And I was secure in my relationship with my husband. And I think he really showed me a lot. He was so supportive of who I was and who I was becoming. And I had to realize that I really did have something to offer the world. That I was okay with me. Now, I was not okay staying the way I was. I've been in continual progress of growth. But I'm okay being me. I don't have to meet everybody else's expectations. Now, I have to do a good job, and if I do my job well, then my boss is going to be happy with me. But my focus is not make my boss happy, make my boss happy, make my boss happy. My focus is do the best that I can do.
I love that. So what advice would you give to a young leader who wants to be the CEO someday, but is like, I'm not even sure where to start? What advice would you give them?
Build trust. Be a trustworthy person. Trust other people. Nowhere in this life do we walk alone. This journey that we're all taking, we're taking with other people. Leadership is done with other people. I mean, you can lead yourself, but just if that's the only person you're leading, it's a pretty lonely journey. Yeah. And we have to realize that we need each other. And trust in this culture is very hard. And I work with young people. It's very hard to gain their trust. And besides working with them, you've got to gain the trust of the parents who are doing their best to try to do something with their kid. And it started out hard for me to trust other people. Therefore, I felt like people couldn't trust me because I couldn't trust them. And really, it boils down to, I would say, 3 areas. If I can just speak to you for a moment here. Trust. You have to have stability. You have to have consistency. And you have to have communication. If you're going to lead anywhere, lead any people, you have to prove that you're stable. I came into this youth pastorship as a volunteer for 8 years, where we went through 4 different youth pastors in 8 years. And that itself leads to a distrust. Well, they're just going to up and leave. Why should I spend my time trusting them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's very common in a lot of jobs where people come, they stay a year or 2 or 3 and leave. And it's hard to build trust that way. So you have to have stability. Am I going to be around? Am I a stable person? You have to have consistency. I mean, if I'm witch one day and a super sweet guru the next, we have a problem. People have to know who you are. Are you authentic? Are you walking a consistent lifestyle? And then you have to communicate. Over communicate. In as many forms of communication as you can figure out to get. Social media, yeah, you gotta watch it, but use it, man. Use it to your advantage. Writing, talking, notes, calling, texting. Use every form of communication you can to help build trust. Let them know that you are there for them, not just at 8 to 5. But if you're gonna lead them, then you're gonna lead them. And the hard things don't always happen 8 to 5. And even if you're in a corporation job, if someone's kid is in an accident, you're still there. And that doesn't happen 8 to 5.
Right.
If someone's sick and they need help, that doesn't happen 8 to 5. And I hear people saying, Lisa, that's not realistic. Fine, don't be a leader. It's your choice.
That's amazing.
Leadership is a choice. If you choose to be influential, if you choose to be that person that people want to model their lives after, then first you have to be that person. And I know that sounds hard, but just start where you are, one step at a time. So I'm just starting out. I don't have anybody under me. Be the most authentic, stable, consistent person you can be and communicate that to others.
I love it. That's awesome advice, Lisa.
Eventually, you're going to get a raise. Eventually, opportunities will open. Don't quit. Don't stop loving people simply because maybe you're not where you think you ought to be at this point in life. You don't have to have a title to be a leader.
Yep. That's perfect. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me on my podcast.
Love you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you subscribe so that way you can hear new podcasts that come out every week. Embrace your journey, and we'll talk to you next week.